Hey YouTube, hello and happy New Year day. It is your brother, sister, uncle, cousin, favorite tutor, Jeremiah. Once again, back to educate and engage with you guys. As you can see by the title, we will be reviewing Earth science. Um, so let's get straight into it. All right, now please take this time to get your pencils, paper, highlighters, or anything you may need. All right, let's go through the system. So we're going to be reviewing the scientific method. You're asked to observe, infer, and predict. Um, observing, so to take notes. Is observing is using your five senses to gather information. Inferring is trying to explain or interpret the observations you made, and predicting is making a forecast of what will happen based on your observations. They all correlate and tie into one another. Remember that. Here's the actual scientific method. Please pause this and take notes as you have a on your own / testing your knowledge clearly at the very end. First is to ask a question. 2 to do your background research. 3 is to construct your hypothesis. Then 4 is to test with an experiment. And 5 is to analyze results and draw conclusions. And 6, you will find out if your hypothesis is true. If it's true, report results. If it's false, think and try again. Let's go over that one more time. Ask a question, do the research, construct the hypothesis, test an experiment, analyze results, draw conclusions, and see if your hypothesis is true, then draw your conclusions / results. Now here's a breakdown to the scientific method. Sketch a problem, research the problem, form a hypothesis, design, experience, test hypothesis, observe, analyze, and report data, arrive at a conclusion. Now, here we go. Look at the example below at the very bottom of the right hand screen. The nature of the inquiry. We have posed question. We're going to go this way, clockwise. Form a hypothesis, and design an experiment, and all the way around, and it repeats. All right. Let's get a breakdown into it. State the problem, pose the question. Questions usually arise from the observations made. Why did this happen? How does this work? Research the problem and gather the information. Once you have a question in mind, research the possible answers so that you make an educated guess as to the answer. Form a hypothesis. Hypothesis, your educated guess to answer the question. Possible explanations or set of observations made. Hypothesis leads to predictions that can be tested. Number 4, design an experiment. Experiments must be repeatable. Controlled experiments allow for only one factor to be tested at a time, which is the variable. The manipulated variable is the variable that changes. The responding variable is the factor that changes when the manipulated variable changes. 5, observe, analyze, and report data. Collect data, make measurements, report information, analyze the data you collected. Does the data support or reject your hypothesis? If hypothesis is inaccurate, restate and develop a new hypothesis and continue. Now, finally, you arrive at a conclusion. Be able to repeat the experiment, report the results of your conclusions. Theory is a well-tested explanation for a wide range of observations or experimental results. Law. It describes an observed pattern in nature, but does not provide an explanation for it. Now, let's check your understanding. Please take this time to pause the video and see if you get it right. Put them in order 1 through 7. Good luck. All right, now that you pause it and you're ready, let's begin. So the first one, what would be first? In order to do an experiment, we have to know what we're doing. So you need to identify the problem. That's number 1. What's number 2? You know? Well, let's see. Number 2 is to gather your information because you cannot make a hypothesis on having 0 information. Now that you have identified the problem, you gathered your information. Now it's time for you to make a educated guess, which is a hypothesis. Now, number 4, What would that be? After we did the hypothesis, what would we start doing? Organizing and analyzing data. Up. Did you catch it? Great. We always give these tricks out during the things. Number 4 is to design and carry out an experiment. How can you get data when you didn't do the experiment? Please be sure and aware to catch those mistakes in our videos that we put out there. Now, number 5, I'm sorry. Number 5 is to make observations and report data from the experiment. And number 6 is to organize and analyze data. And number 7 is finally to stick to a conclusion. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I made this as quick as possible. This is a scientific method, and the easiest breakdown there is to it, plus it tests your understanding. If you have anything you'd like us to do, make sure you put in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share to all your friends. Thanks for tuning in once again to Big Time Tutoring and Mentoring. This is Jeremiah, and I'm out.